Disney's Tomorrowland is a place of wonder and curiosity, where we're promised a glimpse into the future. But as any Disney fan knows, Tomorrowland has always faced a unique problem. How do you keep the future timeless? Since the very first Tomorrowland opened in Disneyland in 1955, Disney has struggled to keep the land fresh, relevant, and most importantly, futuristic. At times it feels like an endless game of catch-up, with the challenge of predicting the future and cultural shifts in our perception of tomorrow making this task nearly impossible. When Disneyland first opened, Tomorrowland was Walt Disney's version of an idealized future, a land that would inspire visitors with the promise of what was to come. Walt described Tomorrowland as a step into the future, where visitors could get a taste of space travel, cutting-edge technology, and the world of tomorrow. But Disney soon learned that the future doesn't wait. Technology advances rapidly, and while the world in the 1950s saw space travel and automation as wondrous possibilities, those dreams quickly became realities. Within a decade, Tomorrowland's attractions began to feel outdated. Walt himself recognized this problem. He knew Tomorrowland would have to change regularly to keep up with advances in science and technology, but what he didn't anticipate was the sheer speed at which technology would evolve. Throughout the 1960s and 70s, the Walt Disney Company began updating Tomorrowland with new attractions like the People Mover and Space Mountain that embodied a more futuristic look and feel as Disney leaned more into retrofuturism. Retrofuturism is the idea of the future as envisioned in the past, often with sleek, curved lines, rocket-inspired shapes, and a sense of awe at space travel. This style allowed Disney to create a timeless future, rather than one rooted in the current technology of the time. But by leaning into retrofuturism, Disney faced a new problem. Rather than updating Tomorrowland to reflect real-world advancements, they crafted a fantasy of what people in the 50s and 60s thought the future would look like. Although it was aesthetically stunning, it wasn't truly forward-looking. Today, Tomorrowland still finds itself in an identity crisis. The older rides like the People Mover and the Carousel of Progress have become beloved classics, rooted in the mid-20th century optimism about technology. Meanwhile, Disney has brought in newer attractions like Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters and Space Ranger Spin, Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, and even Tron Light Cycle Run. But rather than feeling like a unified vision of the future, Tomorrowland now feels a bit like a patchwork of different ideas, from intergalactic battles to computer worlds to space races. Disney struggles to create a cohesive vision of Tomorrowland because the future has become too unpredictable. In the 1950s, the future was often synonymous with space travel, robotics, and nuclear energy. But today, we're equally fascinated and concerned with ideas like AI, climate change, and virtual reality. Creating a future-focused land means not only imagining what will come next, but also reflecting on societal hopes, dreams, and fears. So why not just update Tomorrowland to focus on these more modern themes like artificial intelligence or sustainability? Well, the obvious major issue is that technology moves far too quickly to keep up with. The smartphones, drones, and electric cars of today may be obsolete within a few years. By the time a new ride is conceptualized, designed, and built, the future it's trying to capture might already be outdated. Another issue is that our very concept of the future has changed. In Walt's time, the future represented optimism, a belief that technology would solve humanity's problems and make life better for everyone. Today, we're more cautious, even skeptical about technology. A truly relevant Tomorrowland might address themes like data privacy, AI ethics, and climate change. But these topics are heavy and they don't exactly fit in with the lighthearted escapism Disney strives for in its parks. And finally, Disney faces a nostalgic barrier as well. Many of Tomorrowland's classic attractions, Space Mountain, the People Mover, even Autopia, are beloved by fans who don't want to see them replaced. Tomorrowland is trapped in a paradox. It's supposed to represent the future, but it's held back by nostalgia for the past. So where does this leave Tomorrowland? Disney has tried reimagining the land several times, and each attempt has brought a different interpretation of the future. But now Disney's facing a choice. Do they continue to lead into a retro-futuristic theme, or do they attempt a more modern, forward-thinking Tomorrowland that acknowledges the complexities of our current era? Imagine a Tomorrowland that isn't defined by flying cars and space rockets, but by concepts like clean energy, sustainability, and interconnected technology. Imagine an area that isn't just about looking forward, but about helping us understand the challenges of the present. Tomorrowland was always meant to be a vision of what's to come, but as Disney has learned, predicting the future isn't easy, especially when the future is changing faster than ever before. But maybe it's okay if Tomorrowland doesn't show exactly what the future will look like. Maybe it's enough that it makes us wonder, dream, and just for a moment, feel that a great big beautiful tomorrow really is just a dream away. Thanks for watching.